Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Spirit, and this is my channel, SSR, and this is a series of self care. And this series is based on narcissism and me living with a narcissistic family all my life. So let's get on with it. Thank you for coming, everyone. Okay. Be still and know that I am God. This is Psalms 46, verse 10. All right, let's see here. Let's start out with this. Uh, let's see here. Okay. The 9 warning signs that you're dealing with a narcissist in a relationships are, let's see. First, what is a narcissist? Not every self-centered person you know is a true narcissist, but there are trademarks of the personality disorder that you might be able to identify a narcissist. By definition, is someone with a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, need for admiration, and lack of empathy. Okay, here. How to deal with one. It's best to stay away. Below a narcissist radar. That's true. If you're able. If you work with them or know them as an acquaintance, you just quietly steer clear without making it obvious that you're avoiding them. Yeah, you got to stay away from them. Okay, let's see. Signs. Okay. Alone. Uh, let's see. Okay, the first one is a narcissist has an exaggerated sense of self importance. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Let's see here. The next is a narcissist believes they're special or unique. It's perfectly okay to think you're a little special, but narcissist people take it to the extremes, believing they are so special that they can only be understood by other people they deem to be special also. This is why they seek to surround themselves with only people they believe to be the best. Okay, the other one. A narcissist requires excessive admiration. Yeah, so true. Despite the fact that people with narcissistic personality disorder often act boastful and overconfident, their self esteem can actually be pretty fragile. They have a tendency to be occupied with how they are perceived by other people and feels shocked or disappointment when people don't lay on the flattery. So true. Narcissist has a sense of entitlement. A big sense of entitlement. Narcissists often believe the rules don't apply to them. Yeah. Okay. A narcissist lacks empathy. Narcissists are notorious for being unable to empathize with the struggles or pain of others. Yeah, yeah. Narcissists are envious, true. Is envious of others and believe others are envious of them. That's their paranoia. Narcissists are constantly comparing themselves to others, especially very successful people, which can trigger feelings of envy. And if they do achieve success in their lives, they often enjoy thinking others are envious or jealous. Wow. Narcissist behaves in an arrogant or naughty manner. Let's see. Ever go on a date with someone who ordered the most expensive bottle of wine? On the menu, acted very sweet, charming towards you, and yet was completely condescending and rude to the server. That is a narcissist. Narcissist. Okay, let's see here. Let me find the information on the kinds. Whew. Let's see here. The kinds of narcissists. Okay, here they are. Overt narcissists, known as grandiose or specific or agentic narcissists. This is the most classic type, is often associated with a narcissist personality. People with narcissists, overt narcissism, may be arrogant, entitled, and have an exaggerated sense of self importance. That is the overt narcissist. The covert narcissist, also known as vulnerable narcissist, this type is less obvious than the overt narcissist. People with covert narcissism may be hypersensitive, passive aggressive, and have low self esteem. All right, the malignant narcissist. Some consider this the most severe, and I was living with all of them. Type of narcissism, and some mental health researchers believe it's a combination of narcissism, yes, and antisocial personality disorder. That is so true. Antagonistic narcissism. People with an antagonistic narcissism have a strong need to be better than others and may lie, cheat, gaslight, or put others down to appear dominant. True. Communal narcissism, another type of narcissism, has, has been gaining attention in literature. And this is the, okay, let's see. And this is a communal narcissist. Okay, let's see here. Covert, uh, antagonistic. Communal narcissism is another type of overt narcissism, and it's usually seen as the opposite of antagonistic narcissism. Someone with communal narcissism values fairness and is likely to see themselves as altruistic, and they're not. Suggests research suggests there's a gap between these beliefs and the person's behavior. People with communal narcissism might become easily morally outraged, describe themselves as empathetic, and generous, react strongly to things they see as unfair. Okay, that is the different kinds, and there's five of them. So now I might not have time to give you example of, okay, let's see, how I live my life within a family of domestic violence abusers, and they are narcissists. Okay, I give you one example of an example of how narcissists are. Uh, I remember one time uh, I was in the kitchen with my older brother, and my mother was cooking something on the stove. It was a gas stove. I remember that because we saw the gas man come in and was filling the tank, and the tank was beside a window in the kitchen. So my brother always liked to mess with me, you know. He liked to see the reactions. That is a narcissist. And so we were sitting on the table, uh, and I kept asking my mom to make him stop messing with me. Okay. And my mama had this big old tall pot, almost big as this computer. It was taller though. And this soup spoon. And these was utensils that would be used in like, like a church or a restaurant or something like that. Something very, very sturdy. Uh, and the soup spoon was heavy and thick. So uh, my brother, he kept messing with me. I said, Mama, make him quit. Make him quit, Mama. Before I knew it, it scared me to death. My mama reached over me and with this big, thick spoon hit my brother in the head. My brother fell onto the floor and he started shaking like he had was epileptic. And soon as my mother said, "Boy, you better stop that," he jumped up and stood beside the table. That's our narcissist are. They like to trigger people and watch their reaction. But the thing I remember the most, my mother's face was like stone. Her face never changed. It was like, oh, cold, very, very cold. And I remember it so well. Her face. It's scary. Okay. Another incident, I think I'm able to finish them up. Okay. Is that one time my younger sister and my older brother, older than me, were out uh, climbing trees. It was in the front of the our house, and so I needed a chair to get up on the tree, and I did. But my sister was 2 years younger than me, and she wanted to climb up. And so I was already in the tree. My brother wasn't. And the next thing I know, my sister is falling, and it was this big tree that had the roots coming up. So she hit her elbow on the roots and broke it. So she was crying and everything, and mom and daddy came out and took her to the hospital, the emergency room. And when they came back, uh, my mom was talking to me, and she said, since you made her fall and broke her arm by pulling the chair up from underneath her, you have to help her until her arm heals. And I did that. But both my sister and I knew that it was my older brother. And he let me take the blame for something that I didn't do. That's how they are also. Another incident, and the last incident, and I'm almost finished, is an incident that happened. We all would get dressed, and the whole family would go to church. And so on this day, this specific Sunday, my mama told me to go upstairs and change out of my Sunday best. I did. Uh, she did too while I was upstairs. Then I came back down. She said, I'm going to do your hair for school. And so we were sitting in the hallway, and I remember the kitchen was on the left side of the stairway, and the living room was on the right side of the stairway. So Daddy had went and changed, and he left his white shirt on, took off his tie and coat, and his pinstripe pants he still had on, and I think he had on some different shoes or something. I can't remember. Uh, and so she started combing my hair, And I don't know, it was like 30 minutes or an hour. And everybody came today, they complained that Mama hadn't started cooking. So my daddy came out of the living room and he said, blah, 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 when are you going to start cooking? Okay, this is one of their things they will ignore. All right? Wanting you to get triggered. So that's what she was doing. And I would look up and see her face. It was contorted, like she wanted to kill my daddy right there. She hated him, and you could tell. You could tell on her face that she hated him. And so my daddy went back in to the living room. He usually watched baseball or something like that. And he went back in, and so my mama continued with my hair. And I was thinking, why it isn't she doing what Papa's asking her to do? And she ignored him, ignored him, ignored him. So he came back in. He was frustrated because he was worried about the children being hungry. And so he came back in and he said, blah, blah, blah. When are you going to cook? The children are hungry. And while he was saying that and and saying something else, my papa turned to go back into the living room. And this hair grease, the jar was glass. And my mom knew it. And she stopped. I could feel her hand stop. And I looked up at her. Oh my God. And I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Next thing, I know, and I can still hear the sound of the glass on my daddy's head. And pop, she hit him with this jar. And my daddy, he was so confused and frustrated. He couldn't believe that I could see it in his face. And my mama's, the coldness of her face and the hatred I saw for him. And for me, it's like, and he had a white shirt on. I remember that, and the blood started gushing from the break in the skin from this jar, and it was, and my eyes was big as a saucer, and there was no reaction in my mother's face, none at all, and she started hitting him, with her fists and everything. And my dad, because he's a gentleman, he was trying to hold her off. So it's like three people, three kids holding my mom off, and only two with my dad. And they set my dad down and tried to stop the bleeding. And it's like uh, once she got settled down, and I could see her eyes are like rolling toward my dad and back and forth. It's like, you don't tell me what to do. Narcissists have to be in control of everything and everybody. And so I was standing up beside the chair, and my mama said, "Sit down." It was like in my head, "You ain't messing with my head." Doing that to my dad, but I couldn't say that because she probably would have hit me. I sat back down, and I could feel the anger within her hands as she finished my hair, pulling my hair. I could feel it. My scalp was hurting, and she was doing that to me uh, because she hated me, like she hated my father. We were on the radar of these narcissists, my dad and I, and we had a bullseye on our back. And the violence in the house only persists. And I have many, many, many instances that happened like that. My mom was very physical with doing things to me and my dad. Okay? So it was a dysfunctional, if I could put a star, a exclamation in the front and the back of dysfunctional and tallied them and added. That's how dysfunctional our family was, and no one knew it because we never discussed it outside of the family. And if we did, especially me, I wouldn't be here right now. But that is one thing that the fear was overwhelming. And when I was young, that's when my stomach problems started because I was afraid of my mom and my other siblings, except for two. We got along fine. Uh, and it was awful. And now that I'm out, it is a relief. I have so much peace and calm, and I thank God for that. And you all, I'm sure you have this question in mind. Living within this family, why didn't I turn bitter? I don't know. Uh, or my dad. Uh, it's because of our personalities, I feel, that we had the kind nature that God had given us both. And no matter how we tried to be negative or mean like them, it wasn't in our genetics to be that type of person. And God would not allow us to be or turn like them because I had so much love, no matter how they treated me, I still loved them and my mom. But they were incapable of love because they were narcissists and still are. And it's in the genetics, and they can't have it. So I forgive them and go on. I have dropped them and I'm never around them. And I'm, I'm, I'm glad I'm strong enough to be able to do this. So, right. The next thing is this. All right. Breaking the ice so you all will know some more things about me. I didn't mean for this to last that long. I was going to cut it short, but I didn't. So I hope you all watch it to the end. Okay. Uh, okay. What's your favorite quote about life? My quote is you get what you give in life, and that karma comes back around. So, with what they did to me and my papa, uh, we don't have to do anything because God knows, and they have to pay for it, and they will either in life or afterwards. And I'm comfortable with that. So the quote is you get what you give. So thank you for watching, everyone. And I appreciate that you are sharing my information. And this is about the narcissist thing. This is how I lived. And I don't have relief. I didn't have any relief until the last 3 years. And that's because God gave me the strength. And all of this are true about me. Okay. You wanted transparency, and this is it. So thank you for watching, subscribing, and please share this and take care of yourself and each other. And as I say, pass it along. Namaste. Thank you so much.